Welcome back to another episode of Is It Worth Playing? Boy, for those fans of the Metroidvania genre, boy, it has done it again. At this point, I think it's safe to say that the Metroidvania games are one of my favorite genres, and I would gladly pay to play all my favorites again. My biases aside, Fist, Forged, and Shadow Torch was such a pleasant surprise. The best way to describe this game is if Devil May Cry and Metroid had a baby. This game was initially released October 2nd of 2021. So it's somewhat of a newer game, but it was so great. I just had to make a video for it. It was developed by TiGames or TiGames. It's a indie games developer based in Shanghai, China, and established in 2016. Indie games have been shining for a while now, and this game is just another reminder that AAA game developers are not the only place to find great gaming experiences.
Careful, this mind demon just won't die.
Get Bobby out of here!
Let's start with the story. What's going on in this game? You play as a veteran anthropomorphic rabbit that can commandeer a mech suit. He was at war with a group called the Legion. They were able to drive away the Legion, but this came at the price of losing his best friend, Cisco. Now retired, he spends his time at a ramen shop until one of his friends, Urso, got captured by the Legion. This begins his grand quest to search for the spark. He dons a piece of his old war machine, the F.I.S.T, and starts out on his journey. You will be traveling through many different biomes, level stages, to hunt and protect the spark from the Legion. The Legion wanting the spark to create their own form of evolution through the merging of Fertizin, get it? Anyway, Fertizin and Machine. The story, I love it. It is great for what it is. I love the setup. I love the environment. It's great. It's just great all around. The combat. Remember when I brought up DMC back in the beginning? This is that game that actually shines the most. At the beginning, you'll only have the Fist. By locating data disks throughout the map, you can buy new moves at a rest terminal. These moves can be sequenced in various ways to create your very own combos. Grab, punch, throw, and smash your way through various enemies throughout Torch City. Eventually, you will get other weapons that can be switched out mid-combo to further enhance your inner Dante. So there's the Fist weapon, there's a drill, and then there's like the claw, whatever it's called, the third one. Anyway, so one thing I love about this game is that you can swap out weapons mid-combo, so you can make your own unique combos with this game. Juggle the monsters into the air, smash them back down to the ground, right? Knock them up into the air, juggle them some more, right? And as long as you can swap out the weapons, you can just keep it going, right? I haven't seen any infinite combos, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's possible. It's just that good. The creativity in the combat alone, and the fluidness and the responsiveness, and I think that's the key word to keep in mind with the combat. It's very responsive. No weird ass input buffering, right? What you do is what you get. anyway, let's go next part. Level design. In line with the other great Metroidvania games, you will find yourself in interconnected biomes / levels where you will explore and uncover pieces of the story. Yes, there will be backtracking. As in most other Metroidvanias, you will have to be doing some backtracking. You will run into an area, or you will run into an obstacle that you don't have the upgrade to get, and you will have to, once you get the upgrade, you will have to go back to the spot to get it. But that's for those who want to get all the upgrades. You don't need all the upgrades. I don't see there being any issue for you completing the entire game with just the Fist. It's possible. You're making it harder on yourself, but it is possible. Yes, there are upgrades. Yes, there are collectibles. They aren't on the extreme side, so they aren't like a Ubisoft game where you get like a billion different collectibles to go through. No, it's a reasonable amount, right? You get the seeds, the life seeds, I think they call, for example. You can collect those, right? So it's not ridiculous, but there's also the posters as well, right? In which you can see clearly where the posters are going to be for the most part. There's some tricky ones, but reasonable amount of collections. Platforming, yes, there will be platforming. So it's not, once again, nothing extreme, right? But you will have to exercise your new abilities by performing some platforming. Each biome has their own boss battles. Yes, there are certain locked areas until you get a certain upgrade, gadget slash weapon. So certain doors can't be unlocked unless you have the right weapon, right, the appropriate weapon. But it all makes sense. There's nothing. It's intuitive. Like you sort of know for the most part. There's some tricky stuff, but for the most part, you know exactly what would help you get through that door. And finally, yes, there are puzzles. Nothing too challenging, but you feel quite satisfied after you complete the puzzle. If you played any other games of this type, then you know exactly what to expect. F.I.S.T doesn't take too many leaps in innovation in this regard, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, the Metroidvania genre, it works. It has a lot of mechanics in it that works, and F.I.S.T definitely employs most of those mechanics, and you see him throughout, and it's done quite well. Quite well. I'm surprised that this developer, because I don't know much about TiGames or TiGames, but this game, this is a great lineup they got right now. Great, absolutely great. World building. F.I.S.T does a good job at illustrating a somewhat cyberpunk kind of dystopian city of anthropomorphic furry creatures. There is a group called the Legion that has all, if not most, of the power over the city. They are constantly on high alert against their citizens in search of the spark. There is a rat gang that try their best to work with the Legion to create an amicable environment for the citizens and the people in power, though they're not afraid to employ shady tactics to fulfill their goal. There's also a group dedicated to protecting the spark. I won't get into too much details because that I feel like that will spoil the story too much, and yeah, there's spoilers in this review, but I won't keep it on the light side. So let's go over the pros. What are the pros of this for this game? Fantastic combat, great world to explore. Story is okay, it's serviceable, it works pretty nice. Awesome soundtrack. Did I not mention the soundtrack? Please take a gander. Listen. Just listen to a few seconds of what this soundtrack has to offer. Another pro, great game length. So the game isn't too long. It'd probably take you about 30 hours, maybe 25 hours, right? If you want to complete everything. I played this game on the PS4 Slim, and I got the platinum. I got all the achievements, and it took me about 33 hours, give or take. Good, decent sized experience, right? Not too long, not too short. There's no bunch of stupid padding, right? It's just great length overall. There's a couple other pros. There's side activities, so there are mini games that you can also play, and then there's the collectibles. Let's get into some of the cons. The graphics. So I played this game on a PS4 Slim, and it ran smoothly for the most part. You will experience pop-in throughout your playtime with this game. I had a time where a chunk of the level would not render, and I could not manage the platform properly. This was near the end, but you will see this throughout the game. Nothing game breaking, but there's really bad popping. You can see drop in frame rate. It's yeah, you will experience this sort of stuff. Enemies sometimes spawn much slower than environment, meaning you can go to certain areas expecting enemies, but they won't be there until a few seconds have passed. So you can be, traveling through an environment and not see or it will take some time before the enemies actually spawn. And how do you know this? How do you see this? I see this mostly when you have to backtrack, right? Like I said, you will have to backtrack in this game, and you'll know, oh, I know a little farther enemy will shows up here, but it doesn't. Like I said, none of these bugs are game breaking. They don't completely ruin my experience, but it's there. It makes itself apparent. Another con. Sometimes in battle, the boss can move out of bounds or go invisible. So there was one time the boss, I couldn't, it had like a jumping attack. I don't want to show it because it was the final boss, but he had a jumping attack and he went out of bounds. Like you could have him moving, but I couldn't hit him at all, and he couldn't hit me. It lasted for a couple of seconds, and most of these bugs in the game only last for a couple of seconds. But I was able to complete the game, right? After a certain amount of time, the game did resolve itself, and I was able to get back into it. Can I recommend this game? Yes, absolutely. Please, this is one of the games you have to check. This is one of the reasons why I had to make a video for this game, because the game is really that good. And especially if you are a fan of the metroidvania genre, this is definitely up your alley. You need to check this out today. I highly recommend this game. And if you have some time, you have a little money, a little spare change, check it out. Show these developers some love. Like these indie developers have been doing a lot of indie developers have been pushing out pure gems, and I think good that we recognize when this is done, because AAA developers are not the only place to get great experience. But anyway, that's enough rambling for me. If you like what you saw here, like and subscribe. Put your comments down in the down below. Have you played this game? Would you recommend this game? Was there things that you did not like? Did you have bugs that broke your experience? And do you know anything else about this developer? Do they have any other games that you would recommend? Please just drop it all down in the comments. I'll definitely check it out. But with that said, thank you guys for thank you guys for checking out my video, and I'll catch you later.